Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In just a moment's time, episode 20 of the Wil and Dave show will commence. However, we just need to address a slight little issue. Brandon Trost won the Battle of the BTs 1 week ago. However, that does not excuse the fact that he currently is banned from the Wil and Dave show. Therefore, Brandon Trost will now be banned for a period of 1 hour.
User in your channel was banned from the server.
Hello, it is 4 PM Eastern. It is episode XX of the Wil and Dave show. Will Vincent, Dave Judson, we've got the guy Andrew King. We'll talk about him in just 1 moment's time. Of course, you can head over to Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Wil and Dave. Like us on Facebook. You can also like me, facebook.com/I am Will Vincent. You can find us on iTunes each and every week when I can be bothered to upload the episodes. I haven't done so for the last 2 weeks because I've been a little bit busy. On Twitter, you can use the hashtag Wil and Dave, or you can follow us at Wil and Dave Show. Alternatively, you can just sit back and relax because Will Vincent, Dave Judson, Andrew King are going to kick it into cruise control, and we're going to bring you the very best of what we like to call comedy podcast, starting right now. Hi, Dave.
We're kicking it carb cup style. We're wrecking everything, every lap. Right,
Talking of which,
24/7 until a suspension comes through.
Oops.
Shall we move on before you incriminate yourself?
No, because what I want to address is the fact that the forums always say that the protest system doesn't work. And you know what? It does.
It doesn't.
And the appeal system works as well.
There we are. Ladies and gentlemen,
The end.
the Wil and Dave show, bringing it to you first. Right then, where do we start, Dave? We have breaking news. Danica Patrick crashed at Bristol!
Surprising no one.
What's surprising is that she actually got like 1 or 2 laps in before crashing.
Man, she did better than I did.
Oh, I've got an issue. No, it is turned down, yeah. They are practicing right now in NASCAR. You can watch it live on Fox Sports 1. Oh, no, that's NASCAR Nationwide Series final practice. Kyle Larson's leading, Matt Kenseth second, Brian Scott third, Kyle Busch in fourth, and Mike Bliss in the 5th position. There you are, Dave. This is what we like to call breaking news.
All right. We're the number one source for iRacing and real racing knowledge.
Yep. Fuck you, ESPN. We're better than you.
That's right.
Suck on that.
Yeah, and to start, IndyCar. We're going to start with IndyCar.
Dun, 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 dun.
IndyCar is now known as something a little bit different, as it's now officially known as the Verizon IndyCar Series.
You know, Will, I was getting a little worried. I mean, we're only a couple weeks out from the season opener, and IndyCar did not have a title sponsor. Nice to see that Verizon stepped up and sponsored the series for a several-year agreement.
Yeah,
I think it's good for all parties.
Didn't Robin Miller say this was going to happen 4 months ago?
Yeah, but people tend to ignore Robin Miller because he's abrasive, but he's usually right.
Yep. And, of course, this all really started in November when IndyCar hired a new guy to basically go and find a sponsor that people knew a little bit better than a clothing company that no one buys anything from.
Second shelf.
Yeah.
And a former NASCAR owner to boot.
Yep. So, I mean, they've got their sponsorship thing sorted out now. They've got their communications thing sorted out because they've got the best fucking guy in the world for doing it. Hey, Kitch, how you doing? They've kind of got their marketing sorted out, their PR sorted out. Only thing that's still a bit of an issue is that the first race of the season is on always bad coverage.
Yeah, IndyCar's got to do something about that. But, you know, they got Alan Bestwick. He's a pretty solid lead commentator. Maybe, just maybe, some of his good habits will rub off on the clowns, as I like to say, that run the ABC broadcast.
Because it's the first race of the season, they really can't tell me about the fact that they can use the weight jacket and the anti-roll bars front and rear. They can probably tell me about the anti-roll bars front and rear. They can't tell me about the weight jacket, though.
Scott Goodyear's going to try to tell you about the roll bars and the weight jacker, whether it's a road course or not.
Yep. However, we are 16 days, 13 minutes, and 30 seconds away from the first round of the 2014 IndyCar season.
Excellent.
Brought to you by ABC.
Yep, and Firestone.
And Verizon.
And Verizon.
What? Now,
So how many
guys,
times do you think we'll hear about somebody having to let go of the steering wheel when they crash?
well, Danica's not in the series, so we'll never hear about it.
Yeah. Mike,
Because she invented it. She invented it.
he did.
You know, I'll be honest. When I was first getting into watching IndyCar, like for serious, that was something that didn't occur to me. But then again, I've never really been in a major accident where my steering wheel would go around and rip my wrist off.
Can we take that as consumer advice? Danica Patrick has taught drivers throughout the world that if you're involved in a crash, rather than trying to steer out of it, just take your hands off the wheel and let the car plant itself wherever it wants to.
Grab your boobs and go.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Dave,
can she do that?
yeah, wait, that would be interesting in the crash. Like, help me, please, I need to keep the tatas. I have to keep the tatas.
The tatas.
I'm surprised they didn't milk that a little bit more.
Ooh.
Right, but Dave.
Guys, the real question is the IndyCar series now rigged for Will Power to win the championship since his sponsor now sponsors the league?
Yeah, but also Montoya.
Yeah, but it's only a part-time deal, so
and
maybe
the P1 Pole Award. And pretty much everything else in IndyCar right now.
Hey, I'm glad Verizon's sponsoring IndyCar because it's pretty much assured to have some really good service at all the races I go to since I'm a loyal Verizon subscriber.
We have got to ask, though, how long it's going to be until AT&T starts... You can just... Boop, boop, boop. There we are.
Your call has been...
What?
Oh, wait, no, all circuits are busy. Goodbye.
Yes, that's a little...
What if we just ended the show right there?
Yeah, that would have been fucking hilarious.
This podcast has been disconnected
By AT&T, the world's shittest 4G network.
I feel sorry for anybody that has AT&T. Why do you... all right, anybody out there has AT&T, you can tweet us or Facebook us or Andrew King. Please explain to me why you continue to keep AT&T as your cell phone provider, because I've never heard anything good about them.
Yeah.
I've never really had major issues. It's like once you leave a metropolitan area, though, that's when things start to get dicey.
So basically, if you live in New York City and you forever live in New York City, you're fine. So basically, if you live in Brooklyn, you're fine.
You know, I wouldn't even say that, having been to that area with AT&T coverage, because you gotta think, you know, there's a lot more people in New York than there are in Des Moines.
I see. You mean
Really?
they can only handle 10 people on their fucking wire thing.
Exactly. You know, you got so many more connections, so they have to beef it up that much more.
There we are.
So, Andrew King, if you're going to be on a road trip to, say, maybe the Indy 500 this year, if you choose to go, you'll have no signal all the way from friggin' Iowa to Indianapolis.
Oh, well, you know, we do get close to Chicago on the way.
Oh, so he might catch a reflection off the clouds or something to get a signal. He'll get a 4G signal for about 20 seconds.
So
Honey, I'm still alive.
And so, King, basically, if you go to the Indy 500, we need to buy you one of those fucking owls from Harry Potter. That's the only way we're going to get you any messages.
That's funny coming from you.
Oh, we're going to go down there again, are we?
Yeah, I have this theory that Will was in fact in Harry Potter. He
2
was the,
points for Gryffindor!
Yeah, Gryffindor. You know, if you look at Will and you look at the kid from Gryffindor who did all the announcing for the Quidditch games, that's Will Vincent.
2 points to Gryffindor is a trademark of Warner Brothers. We'd like to apologise to Warner Brothers for infringing their copyright.
We didn't infringe on nothing.
Yeah.
Fair use, baby.
Parody.
Fair use.
So, IndyCar, the question's going to be with IndyCar. Is it now finally, and I mean, I wrote this on my Facebook wall today, but is it officially now back?
If they're not back, they're darn close to it. I think the way you could say they're back is to have the, not the, well, we had a huge crash in IndyCar was showed on SportsCenter moment.
Butter bum! Butter bum!
If people are constantly or consistently talking about IndyCar because it was good racing and not just because somebody almost got killed in a crash or a car blew up, then they'll be back. You got to be early 90s levels where basically, you know what? I don't know if IndyCar could ever assume the number one spot over NASCAR, but NASCAR is surely doing a good job of trying to give that away, and IndyCar is definitely in a position to take fans back to, frankly, real racing with a real championship and none of this chase BS, and whoever scores the most points all season wins the championship.
Yep.
And usually the wins take care of themselves.
True. And they haven't disclosed financial terms on this, but it's rumored to be around $10 million a year, which is really going to help as far as the leader circle goes. But also, it means that IndyCar can once again afford to go to places like Japan, or perhaps Deutschland, or perhaps Her Majesty's
Cleveland.
United Kingdom.
Cleveland.
Cleveland, dude, that
Does it
is one
cost
of the
$10
best-
million to go to Cleveland? I mean, how many fucking bounties do they need to keep all the druggies away?
Come on, it's not that bad. But you guys got to admit that the Brook Lakefront Airport course had some of the most exciting racing. At least the first turn was the most exciting of all season.
Yeah, I completely agree. But that $10 million will allow them to go back to Twin and Motegi. So you can, occasionally get random Japanese people, give them the command and do something like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines!
I really should have got the... Engines
Bless you.
I really should have got the, whatchamacallit one, Gordon Ramsay one, so I could have made my point on that one. Do you remember Long Beach a couple of years back when he gave the command? Ladies and gentlemen, will you please start your engines? I was waiting for say, for fuck's sake, start your fucking engines, you fucking cunts!
See you next
Do all English people drop the C word on a fairly regular basis, or is it just you?
Well, you remember Sean Stroud, don't you?
I never talked to him though.
Oh, okay. By the way,
cunt,
Fast
if I ever
Friday is
saw
brought
one.
to you by Aleve.
Are you watching Fox Sports 1's Fox Box?
I am actually right now. There's
Hashtag
11
Fox
minutes
Box.
and 50 seconds left to go in final practice. Brought to you by Aleve. So yeah,
Hashtag watch it.
they really are. IndyCar are kind of back now, and you are right. I think people are sick and tired now of people really, pissing about in NASCAR. And if you get a race in the Mid-South, you really need to start going back to the Mid-South, perhaps to start poaching the NASCAR crowd. You need to go back to Road America. You need to go back to Phoenix. But it's interesting to me how IndyCar's been talking about Phoenix quite a lot on IndyCar.com recently. And let's be honest, you wouldn't talk about a racetrack where you don't have a race unless you're going to have a race there soon.
Agreed. It sounds like, Rob Miller's always talking about Phoenix too. Something's probably in the works. I'm hoping maybe like next year, maybe like early season. Let's get the season started a little earlier than March.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 4, 5, 6 weeks of NASCAR dominating the headlines before anybody else starts. I understand them wanting to end before the chase, NASCAR chase begins, but, it's always fairly decent weather in Phoenix. Even if it's 55 degrees, it's still not bad. So let's get an early February race or something and get this thing, get the candle lit and get started.
And as good as the, the IndyCar race has been at Pocono, you've got to say it's going to have to be the same thing really for Phoenix. I mean, yes, the racing was pretty good there at Phoenix in the crap wagon. In the DW12, I think Phoenix is going to be fucking amazing.
Would any of those guys risk shortcutting the dog leg like they do in NASCAR trying to get positions?
Jesus.
We've got the white line rule, though, in IndyCar, so you've got to actually stay on the racetrack. Sorry, Bradley Jones, there is a white line rule in IndyCar, and some of us, active, loving sim racers remember that.
Did somebody
Opinion.
call for me?
Yeah, you're banned. Fuck off.
Oh shit.
There we are. So yeah, that's IndyCar, and of course, Really, the thing that they've really got to sort out now is just reversing what they've done on qualifying. We talked about qualifying last week. Once they've done that, I think they'll be fine. That is IndyCar. The thing that I'm a little bit interested about is that NBCSN have signed a new deal as far as the Road to Indy goes. What's it called? The Mazda Pro Road to Indy, whatever it's called. So not only are they going to broadcast most of all of the Indy Lights races, but they're also going to show some of these stuff from further down the ladder, which I think is actually pretty cool as well. In the same way that NASCAR, you get all 3 series broadcasts. It's nice to see the feeder series get some airtime, and hopefully that will mean that you'll get more cars in Indy Lights at some point. Because let's be honest, as good as the Freedom 100 was last year with about 11 cars, it'll be a lot better to see that with 20 cars.
Yeah, if you can grow the the AAA courses, so to speak, it's only going to help because you're going to have more drivers, more teams. You could have an Indy Lights team or whatever they're called now graduate into the IndyCar series or whatnot. I mean, just all growth, all around is going to be beneficial to all series, whether it's a lower tier or the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, and that is IndyCar done. We'll move on to NASCAR now, shall we? Let's talk about...
We're not going to talk about Tagliani or Tracy maybe making the Indy 500.
Yeah. We'll talk about Tags quickly. Let's not forget, Tags has got pole position at Indy before, and he's pretty damn good at the Speedway. And the only thing I'm worried about there is Newgarden, because if Tags shows up Newgarden, that's his career over.
Oh, in one race, I don't think so. As long as he doesn't pull a Hildebrand and crash in turn 1 on lap 5, he'll be fine, I think.
True. I will give you that one. And yeah,
Thank you.
Paul Tracy will be an interesting thing to see come back, because there's still the shadow of 12 years ago hanging over him.
Absolutely. He won that Indy 500 as far as me and him and a lot of other people are concerned. And Will Vincent. Yep. It would be really awesome to see him maybe avenge that, victory being stolen away from him because he was with a kart team at the time. And, who would have thought that you'd see Tony George siding with Penske if you know the history of, you know what I mean? The history of the kart IRL split. It had a lot to do with Tony George and, Penske being on opposite sides of the fence, and then all of a sudden Penske jumps the fence, and then you got Tony George, essentially defending one of, quote, our Penske teams and taking the win from Tracy and the, Team Cool Green, which was very unfortunate, but what can you do? Sometimes politics gets the best of all of us.
Would like to remind all people listening that smoking is bad, okay? Because, of course, Team Green was about a cigarette company. But
Marlboro Team Penske?
Yes, Marlboro Team Penske as well. Smoking is bad, okay? And you talk about how Penske jumped the fence, and the year before, of course, Ganassi, I would say jumped, probably waddled through, smashed through the fence is probably the nice way of saying that.
Yeah, that's probably fair, considering, well, never mind. Wait, look up what Ganassi looks like. It'll make sense.
Yes. That is now all we're going to talk about IndyCar, and we are now going to talk a little bit about NASCAR. We need to talk about that NASCAR that happened down in Las Vegas, I tell ya.
Dude, Harvick was going to win that thing until a stupid, what the heck was it? Wheel hub failed.
Yeah.
I was not happy, because if you remember, I messaged you. I'm like, hey, what are the odds of Harvick winning the race? Because we all know that the UK betting sites don't necessarily keep up really well, as we've discussed in previous episodes. So I was trying to say to Mr. Vincent, hey, you might want to throw a couple bucks or pounds or quid or whatever you call it.
Lira.
Lira. On Harvick, you might be able to make a couple bucks, and then about 10 minutes after I said that, they're like, oh, Harvick's slowing. I'm like, crap.
It was 11-15 as well, so the odds were kind of shit anyway, so I'm really glad I didn't put any money down on that one. But let's talk about Junebug, because I know there's a lot of people that don't like Junior, and there are a lot of people who do like Junior. I will give credit where credit is due. 3 top 2 finishes in the first 3 races of this year. You look at his last 5 races from the end of last year. Junior, you have to say, is driving phenomenally well right now.
No doubt about it. Will he right as of right now he has a career year going. Obviously Daytona 500 is gonna make your season anyway. But to not have that like Daytona 500 hangover as some drivers have had in the past, to just be right there. And if he would have had another pint of gasoline, he would have had 2 out of 3 wins.
Yep.
So I mean, the pressure's off for Junior essentially. Him and Latar can basically do whatever they want, and they made that pretty known at Vegas last weekend, and they almost made it work. So, they keep rolling like that. They're going to be championship favorites for sure. I mean, they already have to be, considering that they basically locked into the chase. But with these kind of finishes, I mean, you're not going to lose a championship finish in second every week, I don't think.
No. By the way, Mike Hill is telling me 3 things I need to know. Thank you very much. March Madness apparently continues in NCAA. Friday Night Countdown is going to take place tonight with NBA and NHL. Fox Sports Live is tonight, following Pac-12 tournament play. But,
Why do you promote Fox Sports 1 so much? They don't sponsor the show.
I want my speed fishing bet. We need to get Jay and Dan on here one day.
Yeah, we need to. What we need to do is make this a legitimate podcast, and we can quit our jobs and live off of this.
Yeah, that would be a fun story. What do we?
Maybe Verizon sponsors everything in IndyCar. Maybe they can sponsor us too.
Let's have a go. But back to the junior
Mike Hitchell.
conversation. You were talking about the Daytona hangover, and in many ways, Junior did have the biggest of all Daytona hangovers because he came second. And really, as far as the 500 goes, it is that old saying: if you're not first, you're last. And Junior, second place in many ways, is probably worse for him than crashing out.
Yeah, because these days it's like, well, if you don't win, it doesn't really matter. As long as you have enough points to stay in the top 30, which, well, everybody but Danica seems to be able to do, you're in the chase. And what was it, the last 15 years, you've only had a maximum of 15 different drivers win a race in the first 26. So Junior's, by all means, locked in. So, yeah, he might as well just blown up because finishing second doesn't help him in his, chase, dreams of winning the championship. You just want to get wins, so you got a bigger advantage when the chase starts. But then after the first 3 races, that point advantage gets erased anyway.
And of course, Junior is potentially on course to make a little bit of history. If he finishes in the top 2 in Bristol, he will have equaled Richard Petty's record for the first 4 races.
Well, hey, not even the almighty Jimmy Johnson can do, have a chance of doing that. So, I mean, that's a pretty stout accomplishment if he's able to pull it off. How many people can say that they're in Richard Petty territory?
Not many people at all. Unless you're talking about Richard Petty towards the end of his career, in which case, anyone was actually in his territory and NASCAR just found a way of making Petty win. Controversial much?
Yeah. Oh, no, not at all. Petty had an oversized engine and it's like 198th win, and they let it go anyway. No controversy there, none at all.
But, of course, we are at Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend, and as far as the seasons go, really, it has been about Chevy being the car to beat. Now, you go back to Harvick. Yes, he had that issue at Las Vegas. He would have won that race otherwise. You have a look at Junior. He was, again, half a pint of fuel away from winning that race. And Ford only really won that race out of luck more than anything else. Toyotas have been struggling this season, and we're at a track probably really that Toyota need to win this week.
Yeah, Toyota needs to... Heck, they're at the point where they just need to have somebody in the top 5 and lead some laps, to be quite honest. And, most of the Toyota cars, I'm sure you would agree, not really that strong outside the Gibbs camp. And the Gibbs camp, according to Kyle Busch, is not, figured out the box yet with the rules and everything. So sounds like they still got a lot to learn. Luckily, Bristol's not a big, aero-dependent track. It's more mechanically grip involved anyway. So things might level out a little bit for Bristol and some of the shorter tracks, but, they got a couple weeks to figure it out before they head back to the 1.5 and 2 mile oval tracks where they have been struggling.
And you've got to say, favourites for this race on paper, you've got to think about Kyle Busch, because he has been before absolutely dominant at Bristol, getting the 3-peat and all that. Got to put Keselowski on that list, of course, as far as Ford goes. As far as Chevy goes, it's a lot more open than people think, because you've got Johnson, you've got Harvick, you've got Stewart, you've got, I don't know, Junior. All drivers who could be really good, and that's even before we get out of them lot and have a look at some of the other Chevy drivers. And I think really Toyotas are in trouble, period. I mean, let's not forget, not many people like fucking Toyotas in the first place. Not many people like anyone from Joe Gibbs Racing. I mean, people can just about deal with Denny Hamlin. And then you've got the 18 car. And then you, of course, used to have that little crybaby son of a bitch, fucking Joey Logano. Now you've got Matt Kenseth in there, who, to be fair, I wouldn't mind punching in the face. So,
What's wrong with Matt Kenseth?
I just don't like him.
Yeah, but he's not Kyle Busch.
He's not Kyle Busch, but he's still an arrogant, stuck-up-his-own-ass piece of shit.
No, I don't see that at all.
Well,
Just
that's
a guy-
probably just me.
Yeah, you're British. You don't see things the way us Americans do.
I don't know. For me,
Besides,
Matt Kenseth,
you're the guy who thinks that Vettel lucked into 4 world championships.
I never fully said that. We'll talk about that.
Yes,
in a
you
moment.
did.
We'll talk
So
about...
your view is a bit distorted.
Just a little bit, yes. I mean, at the same time, I don't like Carl Edwards as well, but that's probably just because of the fact that he likes having anal sex with John Cena.
Whoa! Allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lawsuit from Carl Edwards now.
Well, I mean, come on. How many times you've had Carl Edwards on fucking WWE Raw? Him and John Cena allegedly best fucking friends. Bloody this, bloody blah. They can blow me as well.
Did you ever think like maybe Brandon Trino and Brandon Trost that they're the same person?
Yeah, true story. Oh, look at that. I'm just having a look at the replay of Danica's spin. Oh, what a shame.
Guys, we got tweets already.
Have we?
We do. We have like 3. We had tweets before the show even. We had tweets last night before the show even came on.
Who from?
Al Nagy,
Hello.
Eric Vanek, and Dustin Heroder are at Mopar Fan Germany. So this German in particular has figured out a way to listen to our live broadcast. Shh, we won't tell anybody.
Don't
Anyway.
mention Zavor. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it.
Al Nagy thinks Kimi Räikkönen's going to win the championship. Eric Vanek thinks that Lewis Hamilton's going to win the championship, and Marco Andretti's going to win the IndyCar championship. Yeah, he's not going to win the IndyCar championship, qualifying 25th of the road courses, buddy. Sorry to say. And then Dustin says that he had just finished up his super late model race, and now he's going to listen to the Will and Dave show.
Awesome. There we are.
Thank you, guys.
So, yeah. Very nice. Thank you very much for tweeting us. Don't forget, you can use the hashtag Will and Dave, or you can follow us at Will and Dave Show on Twitter. We really need to set up a Twitter account as well as a Twitter account.
Wait, there's such a thing?
Yes, there is. Go to twatter.com. Twitter. I've got emails as well.
The anti-social network?
Yes.
How come all the tweets in the what do you call them? Twats?
I don't know.
Anyway, they all appear to be Russian.
Yeah, in Soviet Russia, Will and Dave Show. Oh, we can't say that because they're still thinking about going to war with Ukraine. Shit.
Wait, they're thinking about going to war? I'm pretty sure that's happened already.
Well, yeah.
That ship has already sailed, buddy.
I was about to say, from Soviet Russia, we come with vodka and guns.
So, if you were to use this anti-social network, so you're just going out there and, like, slapping the hell out of everybody you can find on this thing, or what?
There we are. Slap my microphone. Almost hurt my ring finger. Oops. God, this is going downhill already. Let's go back to NASCAR, shall we? Because
Absolutely.
as far as the Nationwide Series goes, Kyle Larson's doing pretty well in there at the moment, but he's had a little bit of bad luck. I feel for Kyle Larson. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who don't like him, but he does seem to be adjusting to Sprint Cup Series, but still doing pretty well in Nationwide Series competition.
Wait, well, you said there's some people that don't like him. Is that just you?
No, that's about 90% of people I've talked about. Who
says that? All right. I mean, Kyle Larson's definitely a talented driver.
God, yes.
Yeah, he smacks the car around a little bit. But I mean, was he like 19 or 20? I mean, he's still got a lot to learn. Plus, well, if we wanted to make an Asian joke, we'd say they crash anyway.
Oh, is this our Taki Inoue moment?
This is a Josh Chin moment, but he's not here to defend himself.
Nope, not really at all. And of course, Larson kind of a little bit hinted at the double a little bit as well on IndyCar recently. He mentioned about the fact how, Dixie should have a little chat with Chip about doing the double. And, I think it'd be awesome to see Kyle Larson do the double, but I also think it'd be awesome to see Dixie do the double.
It'd be awesome to see any IndyCar full-time driver see if they can, not just, have a Phoenix racing car that's going to finish 40th anyway and put like a Tony Kanaan in there or something like that. Let's have some legit shots. I mean, Stewart could field a fifth car for somebody. He would do it.
Yeah. You're completely right. Of course, no one's ever going to do the treble, mainly because of the fact that you need a fighter jet to get from Monaco over to Her Majesty's...
Monaco.
Monaco.
This isn't the mouth spray.
No, this isn't like, 1967. Hello, welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. And
what nation's government's going to throw up a fighter jet so Kurt Busch can do the triple? Somebody's a race fan in some country that has a fighter jet. Come on, let's make it happen.
They've got fighter jets and they never fucking use them. Switzerland, through their friends in Monaco, they can do it, so they'll send someone to Monaco to race in Formula 1, fly them to Indy, then fly them to Charlotte.
If Switzerland's always neutral and everything, what did they do during World War II?
Make cuckoo clocks and chocolate.
I mean, did they just sit around and be like, well, hope nobody comes over here?
Yeah, they're just sat there making their fucking Lindt chocolate.
Was it like an alternate reality where, the whole world is at war and they're just like, we're just going to eat our chocolate here and, climb our mountains and play in the snow.
Look at these, we make really nice watches.
Yeah, but we have no one to send them to.
Oh, look at that, there's someone yodeling.
We're getting historical on the Wil and Dave show.
We really are. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to do a little bit of a plug because tomorrow we have got, wait for it, episode 2 of Racebot Presents the WCS Spotlight Show, and you can see a sneak preview of the new overlay you have. It is 17 hours, 36 minutes and 40 seconds until the green flag drops for the second round of the iRacing.com World Championship Grand Prix season, and we'll be with you on Racebot TV for the build-up in WCS Spotlight. That is tomorrow, 1 p.m. GMT on Racebot TV, and the race itself on PSR TV and iRacing Live from 2 p.m. GMT. Let's get back to the action on the Wil and Dave show.
Very nice plug.
There we are. Fucking seamless.
And nice transition too.
Yeah, fucking seamless.
That's right.
So
you are an online broadcast professional.
An online broadcast god. Thank you.
Okay, Marty Reed.
Let's sit back and watch these laps together. Even though I'm the commentator, I'm supposed to be talking.
And I know you. I know you. Every time I do that, I still wag my hand back and forth like I'm actually doing it.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
So,
there it is.
I'm still here.
Meanwhile, let's talk a little bit about the FIA Let's Wag Our Penises and Vaginas in the Air whilst blowing up at the side of the road series called Formula 1.
I never noticed that the Lotus nose was actually a little longer on the one side than the other.
It's got an elongated vagina. What, is one side got the clitoris on it or something?
No, it's like an inch longer, if you're looking at it, it's like a prong. The one on the driver's right side sticks out another inch or so than the one on the other side. They're not even.
The Lotus has a camel toe.
Oh, God. God, the important question, I think, is...
This. You've got to say No, you've got to do it this way. The important question is this. Then talk.
I'm learning.
Off you go.
The important question is this. Is anyone going to finish the race?
Yeah. Anyone with a Mercedes engine.
Are you sure about that?
Well, except for, of course, Hamilton, who pretty much did what? Stopped on his installation lap.
Because, just because the engine stays together, I mean, Hamilton had a sensor issue in Free Practice 1, like, right off the go. So, yeah, the engine might not fail, but if you have a sensor fail and it turns everything off, then, well, you're screwed.
Precisely. However, Hamilton did kind of bounce back, and he got himself fastest lap in FP2. I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't actually watch Free Practice for most of it because I was asleep.
Oh, Will, you missed a gem when when Hamilton was walking back to the paddock. He came upon a section where they let fans in, and there was a turnstile, and he comes up to the turnstile and pulls it away. And some guy manning the booth says, "Hey, where's your pass?" And he goes, "I'm a driver." Like you couldn't tell with the $5,000 Hans device, the fire suit, and the helmet on.
What's he need to do? Whip his cock out for ID?
And he begrudgingly let Hamilton get back into the paddock. It's like, really? Come on, dude. What do you think? People just walk around with, Aerostar fireproof suits and and helmets and all sorts of stuff just
he
for the
could have
hope
been a terrorist in a Hamilton disguise. Of course.
Yeah, with all the cameras following him and everything.
Yes, that was exactly it. Although there has been an issue before where a driver has actually had to pretty much call up Bernie. He's like, don't know where my pass is. Can you please let me in? Because they are incredibly strict to security in Formula One. So, in one way, at least he was doing his job, we can say.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, bureaucracy gone mad, as David Hobbs referred to it as in the broadcast.
Talking about
here
David
in the
Hobbs,
States.
he really fucking bores me.
What?
I don't know. I mean, I love Lee Diffie. You know I love Lee Diffie. And to hear Diffie's
Yes.
voice again on the NBC Sport Network, it brought a huge smile to my face. However, I'll preface this by saying I like David Hobbs. However, I like him in small doses.
Well, is there anything you like? Because for the first, half hour of the show, everything we've talked about, you said you've hated it.
I'd love it if they had Jan Beekers do fucking color commentary for Formula One. It'd be amazing.
And why is that?
Because Jan Beekers is amazing.
I mean, he's a decent pit road reporter for IndyCar, but he's not making or breaking the Formula One coverage if
He's not.
they were to put him in that position.
Although you have got that little fucking fairy boy back who we sent over from the United Kingdom who fucking wears his red chinos. I mean, you talk about my capris. Look at his fucking jeans. Tight red jeans. And you let him get away with that?
Pants.
No, I don't like Will Buxton.
He's one of your countrymen. You have to support him.
We sent him away for a reason because he thinks like he can talk like a fucking American.
He loves America.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
love
you.
America. Doesn't mean I'm going to talk like a fucking American all the time.
Talk like an American. And not the I want my speed vision voice.
I want
Do a
my
real
speed
one.
vision. I really can't do an American accent. That's the issue.
It's quite easy.
Whatever, Canadian.
But I go to finish before I go to
The
America.
Canadian
Actually,
can do
Dave,
it.
this is something really weird today. I walked to my house to go to work, and I saw a shit ton of Finnish people with Finnish flags. And I don't know what's going on in Birmingham today, but I did the one thing that you can do when you know a little bit of Finnish. I went over and said "moro" to them, which is hello. And it's like, all these random Finnish people with suitcases. Like, are we being invaded by the Finns or something?
Is it some sort of, like when the Germans were there for the German market, is there some sort of Finnish market going on?
I don't know. The thing is, I did see some fucking French people as well. They were probably on strike, so...
What else is new?
Yeah, but...
we work too many hours, 35 hours, that's too many. We need to have 25 plus 6 more weeks of vacation.
And by
Sounds
25
awesome.
hours, they're talking about 25 hours a month, not 25 hours a week.
I love when they're always like, "Oh, you Americans, you guys work way too much." It's like, what, 40 hours a week? That's too much?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, we can work 48 hours a week here before we have to fill in a little form saying we want to work more. Over in the UK, if you want to work more than 48 hours, you have to sign a form which says, basically, I understand EU regulations, they can go and fuck themselves. I'd like to earn more money. Thank you very much.
You have to fill out a form to get overtime.
Yeah.
Is it overtime after 48, or do you get over, like here in the States, after 40 hours, it's overtime?
Most jobs are 39 hours contracted, so if you do more than that, it's generally overtime. If you're an hourly wage, sometimes you just, get paid by the hour regardless, and you don't get overtime pay per se.
Oh, that
Sounds like
sucks.
this. It makes me glad that I am salary and not hourly, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I
it's
want to
good.
be an American idiot, one nation controlled by the media.
It benefits you if you're able to finish your work up early and you can leave at like 2 o'clock and sit on your porch and eat steak and drink beer
Amazing.
at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you suck or you have crappy coworkers who hold you back and you've been there since 8 in the morning and it's 6 and they're like, Andrew, we need you to help us finish this project. We're 2 hours behind. Then you're like, I got the diarrhea, bye.
By the way, we are really glad that IndyCar took Verizon, by the way, and not Metro PCS. Could you imagine?
the guy in that commercial who touts the power of the period has clearly never dated a woman.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
tell you what, the
period
power of the
power.
period is a negative, a huge negative.
Yeah.
It's not positive.
That's
That's
period power.
To hit period power, you retreat to your man cave and don't come out for a week.
Yep.
Never trust something that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die.
The Red Army is invaded. What other things could we say?
I was
Go.
about to start playing the Soviet national anthem there.
All
Go
hail the
for it.
Red Army.
Wait, you have that on cue?
Somewhere.
Why?
Why not?
Were you playing it during a Carb Cup race or something?
Maybe. I have, however, got this.
All I hear is my country 'tis of thee.
And are victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen.
Well, you sing the American national anthem with more passion than you do your own home country's national anthem.
Did you hear what he was singing?
Well, yeah, but
Last time I checked, we did.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in it, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
don't you mean home of the Indy 500 like Steven Tyler said once?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Andrew, I knew he was not singing the American national anthem the first time, but I've heard him sing it before, and comparing the two in my mind, there's a lot more passion when he does the American national anthem than God Save the Queen.
It's unbelievable, really unbelievable what you do. And the better driver goes in front, not the lucky driver, the better driver.
Well, this is kind of taking a bit of a weird turn. I thought it was supposed to be a motorsport. Can you imagine if this was still on ETV Motorsports Radio Network? JD Webb would have a heart attack.
They'd be chasing us with pitchforks.
Yeah.
Well, you say, "Oh, this is supposed to be a motorsports podcast." You know darn well that's like usually one of the last things we ever talk about.
True. It could be worse. It could be worse. I could pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
There we are.
Let's go racing, boys!
Let's go racing! Boogity, boogity, boogity!
Speaking of let's go racing, boys, we got to review that BT challenge.
We really do.
Since it was on RaceSpot TV.
Yeah. Moving on.
By the way, I just want to say that Brandon Trano talks a huge game, and he lost to someone who said he was slower and a worse talent of a driver. So, Trano, calling you out, buddy. You better get it together, because you said you were going to dominate that thing. And frankly, Trost handed your rear to you.
By the way, Fox seems to think that they need to circle the time remaining in the qualifying session. Because, we can't tell the time unless they put a yellow circle around it.
Well, maybe some fans think that's a clock.
Why is the clock going down? I find that the clock goes upwards.
It's not 2 in the afternoon. It's like 4 o'clock.
Oh,
They must be on that mountain time.
Yeah. Austin Dillon almost wrecked someone there at Bristol.
Shocker.
I know, what a surprise. But Formula 1, qualifying tomorrow might be wet.
Formula.
Formula.
Well, a lot of the teams probably
Double up.
Although we really can't say that with the new fucking front wings anymore. It's more a case of Formula.
Especially if a Lotus gets. Especially if a Lotus gets turned around the wrong way and a Williams hits it or something. No. If a Toro Rosso hits it.
I tell you what though,
Ass to ass.
I was making some jokes earlier about how I saw a Marshall. I think it was when Force India fucking blew up. And the guy at the Marshall's actually handling it by the fucking cock at the front
The
of the
tip?
thing.
What was he trying to do? Move the car with it?
And then my boss, who I will preface by saying is of Indian descent, she's a Sikh, her comment was, looks a little bit big for an Indian.
Ooh.
Guys, what? So, what was he doing? Was like the car up on the hook? Was the car up on the hook and he was trying to like turn it? Pretty much. I think Brandon Trano heard our bad mouthing of him and he's trying to join the show. He's gonna have to wait a minute though till we're done talking about the Caterham, which they decided to paint the nose of their car black.
Yeah.
Will, you know something about that?
Well,
They'll never go back.
Yeah, I was about to say, once you go black, you go blind.
You go blind?
Yeah.
Why do you go blind?
It goes all the way through and pokes your eyes out.
Oh. Moving on.
Anyways.
Brandon Trano, welcome to the show.
Going on, guys?
Are you here to discuss the battle of the BTs?
Not really. But
No?
one, I guess.
Well, you laid down the challenge for Daytona prototypes at Daytona. I would assume fix it. And Will just went full-blown retarded.
Yeah.
Never go full retard.
No.
You didn't play the clip.
I don't have it loaded up right now.
Oh, you've
Wait.
had 45 minutes.
I had a good run. Man, I was playing a game of Titanfall. Somebody started doing that over chat. I couldn't believe it.
All right, Mr. Trano, Daytona prototype at Daytona. I would assume fixed setup as the truck race was. Well, you dictate the rules, so what are we looking at for the potential next challenge?
However long I want to, I will decide that one just before the race. Whatever wind conditions I want to, I'll decide that one right before the race. How much fuel I want, we'll decide that one right before the race.
Wait, Will Vince is determining everything?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Now let's be honest, Brandon Trano, you've had a lot of success in the Daytona prototype at Daytona have not been for some faulty internet, you'd have a couple of Daytona 2.4 victories.
Dave.
What?
Kenneth O'Keefe won that one fair and square, and he was entitled to have that post-race celebration.
Okay, the guy did win the race fair and square, but had it not been for some pretty crappy internet on Traino's
Oh!
You guys are the same person.
That's unforgivable.
You guys are the same person.
Dave,
What do you
we can't be
expect?
friends anymore. That hurt me.
We're gonna be defriended on Facebook. Anyway, let's be honest. You've had a lot of success there, save internet problems. ABB, are you gonna? Let's say the race is 15 laps. I don't know. Are you gonna just put your shoe to his throat and choke him out and just get it over with?
That's the plan.
Is he going to finish the race? Considering he's
No.
never driven the DP before, because he, in his words, I don't own the car.
Yeah, no, not happening.
Okay. I think we're going to have to discuss potential for a third tiebreaker match, Will. Got any ideas?
You should do the Lotus 49 at Talladega.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
even
I
the
know
79
what-
at Talladega is
The
still
79
scary as hell.
I know Will's thinking of that.
You know what, though? I think if you're going to do a final challenge, you got to throw in 4 or 5 other guys just to make things a little interesting. Maybe not necessarily whoever wins, but whoever finishes ahead of the other. Because let's face it, 2 cars at Daytona or Talladega is going to be kind of, I don't know, a snooze fest. What do you think, Will? Throw in like 3 or 4 other cars, have a 6-car field just to mix things up and have a big draft and
Yeah,
everything.
we'll have to make it neutral party, so we can't have anyone from Broken Arrow, no one from Team Velocidina Raptor blown up in the head saw.
Well, I'm on a team, but we don't race, so
Yeah,
I could
Trainer,
be
you've
involved.
got to actually be rather happy with that I took the piss out of someone else's team and not Broken Arrow. I mean, it's not very often that I do that.
Yeah, I know, it's a shocker.
Though it was pretty
oh.
funny that you thanked your team for setting up your fixed series truck.
That was the whole point.
Trainer,
I had
you
to
had to owe
put the
that
right
for me.
setup in. So I have some secretive news.
Go on.
Oh, breaking news on the Will and Dave show.
Yes, we have confirmation that Ryan Norton is still alive.
Well, all right. What's the confirmation?
Have
Have you heard him speak?
No, I called him last night, and and he's not dead.
How do you
Sucks
know
for you
whoever answered the phone was actually him? Do you have like a secret password or like a security question?
Oh, when he screams out Traino, I'm pretty sure that's Norton.
There's nobody who can fake that.
Trainer, how old are you again?
17.
Oh, we don't yet. Never. No.
I'm not
no,
going
can't
there.
do it. Anyways, so what's old Ryan Norton been up to lately? Been working a lot or something?
Supposedly he has a job working on engines, and his drag racing hobby has started to pick up, and he's in the midst of a move. So that's why he's been AFK.
He's moving.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But he can't leave me. How will I survive in the IndyCar without him?
I know.
What did you mean, like a physical move, or he's moving series?
I was about to say no. I think even I can say that Ryan Norton knows how to move. Okay. I mean, let's be honest. We don't get on that well, but even I will give Ryan Norton credit for being able to put one foot in front of the other.
There you go.
Well, hey, good for him. If he's got a job that he can support himself and have a hobby, and good for him.
Hey, Dave, this is crazy. I just said something nice about Ryan Norton. What's
Me
going
too.
on? I know. This could be the start
seems
of a
like you
new
guys like
era
him.
of happiness and peace.
It's because it's Pi Day.
Seems like you guys miss him.
Pie.
Happy Pi Day, everyone. 3.14 blah blah blah.
Are you ready for this?
I'm always ready for you, Will.
Not really Google, Will.
There's no, yeah, come on, you're obviously cheating.
Yeah, I was. I was about to say, that would make a great podcast, just putting pi to 2 million digits and just pressing play.
I wonder what the longest recital of pi is.
That could you, what, from memory?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Alright, as of... oh, God. Guinness World Records. Most pi places memorized.
I was about to say, if you talk about the other pi, I think that's not the one that Tony Stewart and Chip Ganassi covered.
Chao Lu of China recited from memory 67,890 places at Northwest A&F University in the Shaanxi province of China on November 20th, 2005. The record was attempted by the chemistry student after practicing for 4 years. The attempt lasted 24 hours and 4 minutes and was recorded on 26 videotapes.
Could you imagine if he fucked up one before the 23 hours and 59 minutes in? He would have been killed.
News reports from the China Central Television station and from Yangling TV submitted the claim, and the attempt was witnessed by 8 officials, math professors of NWAFU, and 20 students who assisted the witnesses. So somebody for 4 years recited or practiced to recite 67,890 places.
And during that entire time, he had absolutely no sex life.
Yeah. Hey now,
fair, I really don't think I know anyone. It's like 3.141592655.
There's kids in here.
Is that the noise they made when he finally got one wrong?
We'll do it live!
Fuck it! So...
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean?
You know what you've been? Gum on the bottom of my shoe. Spoiled little brat who will get pregnant at 17, have an abortion at 18, and meet some sweaty frat boy over spring break and work as a dental hygienist until the day you die.
Well, there we are.
So, Dave, who's going to win this weekend in Formula 1?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say Felipe Massa redeems himself after years of toil at Ferrari, and he's going to win the first race in the Williams Martini Mercedes.
Ooh. In NASCAR?
NASCAR. You know what? I'm going to go with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Ooh. Okay, King?
No idea.
Training?
Way to be prepared.
Yeah.
I think of a case can.
Formula
Vettel.
Oh.
By the way, the following
Interesting
comments are
pick.
for entertainment purposes only. That's in the state of Nevada this weekend, or live in a country where you're actually allowed to bet. Lewis Hamilton is the favourite at 2.75. Nico Rosberg is second favourite, and Fernando Alonso is third favourite in Formula 1. So, you've got to go somewhere in a minute, haven't you, Dave?
I've got a couple extra minutes, so if we got to stretch this out into Overland, we can do it, but not for too long.
That's all right. So, we really need to talk about Formula 1 that much, but qualifying tomorrow could be wet. That could be incredibly interesting.
I think that some teams are hoping it'll be wet. It'll probably keep the cars cooler and less chance of them failing.
Yeah. All of the talks
what a downfall for Red Bull. They're talking about just hoping they finish the race.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, what a fall from grace from last year, where it's like, well, hey, we just showed up. You might as well just give us the trophy to Vettel. And now we're saying, well, you know what? We're not even hoping that we can get points. We just want to finish the race.
You really don't want to fall off Grace, though. Fall from Grace, because Grace is kind of hot. Not going to lie to you.
Do you have experience with this?
I do, yeah. Talking about some of this stuff. But yes. Oops. But also, there's something else I was going to say. I've completely forgotten. Yeah, everyone's been talking about this extra set of tyres for qualifying and how that could make a difference for Q3. However, actually, if you've got an engine that's prone to blow up every so often, you just won't run in qualifying 3 because you don't want to put any stress on that engine at all.
Yeah, a lot of teams are talking about even avoiding free practice 3 just so that they don't break something and not have enough time to recover to even do qualifying. So I think it's going to be a lot of one and dones, and well, you know what, there'll probably be a lot of open track, because if you wait a few minutes, everyone will be done, and then you can run your laps unopposed.
Do you remember, I think it was Long Beach 2012 in IndyCar when like 15 drivers all had penalties in qualifying? It could be like that for like the third race of the season.
Yeah, what is it? They can only use 5 engines for the whole season?
Yeah, it's like, come on, what's going on?
I know, come on, like they were saying here in the States, the technology that they've developed in the last 18 months would take a road, like if they were developing the same things for a road car, would take like a 5-year developmental process, and Formula 1 teams have done it in 18 months. So come on, let's throw them a couple spare engines. I mean, really, is it going to really hurt that things that much if they have 7 or 8 instead of 5? Come on.
Did you know, by the way, if people went to Romano's Macaroni and Grill, they could have course after course after course after course of food?
Well, we got to break that stream, man. You're addicted to Fox Sports 1.
I really am, aren't I? Oops.
It's really a shame they don't have more people like you. Then maybe they wouldn't have to have so much advertising during the races.
What? Because they could actually make their advertising money out of a normal schedule of commercials.
Let's go racing, boys, and we'll be right back.
There is, of course, V8 action going on at Albert Park this weekend as well, which is going to be good to talk about. But McLaren. Let's talk about McLaren very quickly, because they've kind of covered up the fact that they haven't got a title sponsor by saying we're going to run a special livery for the first race of the season.
Yeah, Ron Dennis makes it seem like they're not really too worried about it. In his words, we got a lot of money. We'll be fine. We'll have something in a couple of races. But they got to admit that last season not getting a podium for the first time since 1980 really had to hurt them in their quest for a title sponsor.
You know who they need?
Who do they need, Will Vincent?
They need Prince Malik Adil Ibrahim.
And that would be what?
The guy who in 1999 sponsored Arrows under this T-minus brand, and they actually announced it on the Thursday before Australia. They started putting T-minus on the car, and it was like T-minus 55, T-minus 54. We all expected to come the Thursday before the San Marino Grand Prix for the car to blow up, or them to actually announce something useful. Actually, what it was is that they announced T-minus to be a clothing brand, and Prince Malik Adil Ibrahim never paid them a penny. He also tried to set up a NASCAR team and failed miserably.
Probably because he didn't pay anybody.
Yeah, however, he has told me that he has got lots of money in his bank account, and that if I just send him over my account number and sort code, he will let me be the custodian of this money.
Yeah, I'm sure that, they need your bank account and just to pay for the taxes, and then you can keep the rest, right?
Yeah, completely.
Gee, that sounds legit.
Yeah, completely.
100%.
Yep, nothing wrong with that at all.
Andrew King, you have any advice on that subject? Nothing?
I think he's dead.
Uh-oh. He's gone full Ryan Norton.
You're listening to the Dave and Will Podcast Show.
Double up.
Oh, sorry, were you doing that?
Arca Brakes!
Yeah.
No, he can't do Arca Brakes because he's banned.
I can't in practice.
Get the fuck out of our channel!
Wait, what did he say in that one?
Get the fuck out of our channel!
Andrew King, you really go nuts sometimes. You seem like a quiet, unassuming, Canadian American, and then all of a sudden you go full retard.
Go fuck yourself.
With this net, we can do anything on the internet we want to do.
It is so hard for me to let you play that whole clip without laughing over it.
With this net, we can do anything on the internet we want to do.
Like, we can go on Craigslist and get a third person into our bed. And then kill them afterwards.
And then we'll play the Gentlemen Search Your Engines from Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines!
Go, Daddy!
Oh, he's a local, just like the ex-girlfriend who will never return. Home run!
The fucking Delara is overheating. Attention, iRacing. I want something done now. I don't care if there's...
Brilliant.
Well, did you watch the YouTube clip I showed you of that guy doing the Gentlemen Search Your Engines when he was all done with it?
Gross. That sounds dirty as shit, man.
He shook his head like, "Oh yeah, I nailed it." It's like not even close, dude.
Nope, not even close. And you know what?
Randy said that was bullshit.
Well, this has been an interesting episode. Dave, it's been our 20th episode together.
Yeah, baby, double X.
Double X. And episode XXX.
Oh, number 30. It could be. Should we tease it a bit? Should we give just the tip, maybe?
There we are. There's our tease.
Oh, boy.
Oh, baby.
Guys, if things work out the way Will and I dream they will, this could be huge.
It will be the main event.
The main event.
That's a tease in itself, isn't it?
What? Yes, it was.
Yeah, you like
but it may be misleading.
It may be misleading, but that was a tease so big even you didn't get it immediately.
Guys, huge breaking news from Pet Shower Motorsports.
What?
We've confirmed 2 drivers for the 120 minutes of Sebring tonight on iRacing!
Oh my god!
Justin Petschauer and Marius
Well, at least they have one team with 2 drivers.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Rather than 2 teams for 1 driver. Team SSR/Hornet Racing.
Pierre, please explain to us sometime whether... Pierre, I'm calling out to you, buddy. Whether come on the show or on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, please explain why your team has 2 names.
For 1 driver.
For 1 driver.
Thank you.
This has been a public service announcement of the Will and Dave Show.
Fridays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Live and exclusive on GlacierTV.
Watch it!
The Will and Dave Show is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yay!
I've always wanted to say that, and I finally worked it in.
It really did, and it worked really well, actually. I'm really proud of you, Dave.
Yay, I'm learning. I'm learning from the best, Will Vincent.
There we are. So we've done 20 episodes of this, and finally the Formula 1 season's upon us. IndyCar is only a couple of weeks away. So when are we cancelling this shit?
What do you mean, when are we cancelling it? We got to at least do 10 more.
Yeah,
so
we
we get to Triple X.
We're probably going to get arrested during episode Triple X.
How funny would that be?
It really would.
Well, you know what we should do? We should do a Google Hangout so they can see us get arrested.
Oh, God, that would be fucking hilarious. Although we can't, because if we get arrested that weekend, we're not going to get out of prison until after the Sunday.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to get arrested, Will.
No.
Make sure you behave yourself and use deodorant, not Axe body spray.
Okay. And I'll try not to wear my capris. Although, I wouldn't mind seeing that chick from last year again. She was hot.
Wait, the one that needed to use the backyard of the abandoned house as a bathroom?
No. The one who...
Well, who are you talking about?
The one who sat with me and Goke.
Where? At the race?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't sit with you guys. I didn't see her.
You didn't see the photos?
No.
For fuck's sake, Dave.
You're holding out on me, Will. I thought we were buddies.
Buddies?
Holding out on me.
He posted it on Facebook and everything. We're gonna have to find it now. Goke's got it. It's on his wall somewhere. We'll find it. We'll go off air and we'll talk about it in a bit.
All right.
Yeah,
Should we wrap it up? Justin Petchower, we gotta let him come in here and talk about his team real quick. Shall we bring him in, Will?
Okay, we'll bring him in. We'll be nice, okay?
All right, breaking news. Justin Petchower is here to discuss the 120 minutes of Sebring.
It's going to be an awesome race.
He knew it was coming. He was really quiet, and he tried to say as much as he could, and then he was unceremoniously booted. Why do we always do this to him?
I don't know.
But he always plays right into our hands. He keeps coming back, and we keep doing it to him, and then he keeps coming back, just like Trost.
We still need to have, and Petchower, if you're listening, next week, we'll do a special. Petchower and Trost debate.
Will and I will be the moderators. We'll come up with some iRacing and racing topics, and the two of you guys can discuss them, hopefully, if you're both available. I'm sure that you're both very opinionated and could lead to some very good show stuff. Yeah, that was well worded.
Yeah, it was well worded.
Some real good show stuff.
Show stuff. You need to leave that one to the professional.
Can we leave that? Can we make that as like a sound clip if I do it again?
I'm sure we can at some point. I just found a photo of Goat drunk out of his face in a Vikings top, singing.
I hope if I'm able to go to Indy this year that I can make it to the Thursday night, seemingly yearly trek to the main event, because it sounded like I missed a heck of a time last year.
It was fucking awesome.
The Bettenhausen's leaving every 45 minutes to go qualify for the Indy 500, then coming back. I mean, that is dedication.
It is dedication. And they were still able to tell me all the stories I needed to tell me.
Yeah, just here's the thing, Will. If your shorts stop at your knees, you're good. If your pants go down to your shoes, you're good. If they're in between, don't wear them.
Okay.
And especially if they have little ties in them where you can tie them shut so they stick closer to your leg. Definitely a no-no in America.
Actually, no, that's just to tie it up so my cock doesn't fall out the other end.
Well, past your knees?
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, how did you go sexless in America then?
Well, it scared them off.
Too much whiskey
down there.
Too much whiskey.
Yeah, this year's Indy 500 is going to be fucking phenomenal. By the way, I am coming back in case you didn't listen last week. Okay, so.
All right, what's legit? Let Justin Petchower accept the invitation. Justin Petchower, are you here to accept the invitation to the Petchower Trost debates?
If he's up for it.
There we are.
There we are.
And also, way to go, Danica. Way to go.
Wait, you act like you're surprised that she crashed.
Not surprised at all.
I'm fine. I'm just fucking pissed.
Oh, man. Andrew King coming through strong with the sound clips.
Yeah.
Do what I get to do.
Go, Daddy!
Gum on the bottom of my shoe.
Thing sucks.
Spoiled little brat who will get pregnant at 17, have an abortion at 18, and meet some sweaty frat boy over spring break and work as a dental hygienist until the day you die.
Ouch.
Except she didn't mean a frat boy. She met Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wasn't intelligent enough to go to college.
Go ahead, Mr. Petchower. The floor is yours.
Stenhouse, what are you doing with Danica anyway? It's just going to end in disaster, as it already has so many times.
Dude, come on.
Cheap,
She's the
meaningless
sugar
sex.
mama. Sugar mama. She's obviously making a ton more money than he is. So makes sense, right?
Guys, this is important. In the United Kingdom, they've got a special offer where Sharwood's Chicken Tikka Creamy Sauce is £1 or 3 for £4.
Woo!
Wait a second.
What?
I don't even know what that stuff is, Will.
It's basically sauce that you make curries out of.
Well, I don't like curry. I don't like Indian food.
Well, that's because you're fucking racist.
What? Just because... So, if I don't like sushi, it means I'm racist?
Yes.
So,
by the way, Rasmussen, yes, we can see the chat on here. Both Dave and Will can see it. However, it's called the Will and Dave Show because I came up with the idea, then Dave tagged along.
no, I didn't tag along. You asked me to be a part of this.
Yeah, true story. Oh, by the way, Dave, what are you doing on Sunday? Are you watching the Grand Prix?
Well, yeah, but I'll be watching it when I wake up in the morning since it goes off at like 2 in the morning here.
That's bullshit, because as soon as the Grand Prix finish, Will Vincent and Nick Rowland, who's my commentator... I'm going to start that again, seeing as the next word was commentator. Oh, did Petro leave on his own accord?
Yes, he asked me to kick him because he had to go, so I kicked him.
Oh, I'll start that one again.
Not like he couldn't just hit like disconnect, but
Yeah.
hey, whatever.
Alt F4! Do you even? Alt F and 4!
Push the pass, baby.
Yeah. So, yeah, on Sunday after the Grand Prix, Will Vincent and Nick Rowland, who's my co-commentator for the Irish.com World Championship Grand Prix Series, will be breaking down everything that happened in the 2014 Australian Grand Prix.
What time would that be?
2:30
in America.
4:30 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I won't even be up yet.
Set the alarm clock, bitches!
Hey, alright, you send me some imported Monster Energy drinks via airmail. If I get them before the race starts tomorrow, I will drink them, and then I will stay up all night, watch the race, and do the show.
Oh, you see, we've got better than that. You hear this?
Yeah, I hear you beating it.
It's called Go Splash Low Calorie Energy.
What is that?
Go Splash Low Calorie Energy. I've just realized how dirty this sounds as well. It's basically concentrated Red Bull.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what you do is you flip the cap, and then you tilt it, and then you squeeze it.
This is great radio.
And oh god.
Are you drinking it right now?
Yeah, I just shot a load down my throat.
Oh, really?
I just squirted Go Splash Low Calorie Energy down my throat.
So you're gonna be up to
Not
like
touching
what
that
next?
one.
You're gonna be up to what, like next Wednesday now?
Yeah.
Can you post a picture of what the can or bottle or whatever it is looks like?
Yes. Talk Phil for a minute.
Maybe that'll be our first sponsor. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, you can tweet us at Will and Dave Show, or you can follow us on Facebook, or like us, or whatever it is, at Will and Dave. Will needs to change that so it's streamlined with our Twitter account. See if you can make that happen. And you can be like Jim Rasmussen or Brandon Trost or AMK98002 and leave comments on the YouTube page. We love to hear from you guys, especially guys like Al Nagy and Eric Vanek who say some of the goofiest things.
Retarded cunts.
I'm missing Adam Doc. He hasn't sent us any tweets
No,
lately.
Adam Doc's pretty awesome as well. What's happened to our hot Texas chick as well?
That was the Brad Sanford that sent us the picture last week that we retweeted.
Oh, so what's
You know what's weird?
What's our Twitter
I
handle
feel
again?
our Twitter handle is at Will and Dave Show. You know what's weird, guys, about the picture that Brad sent? I feel like I've seen that girl before, but I have no idea why I ever would have seen her. Does anyone have an explanation for that? Is that some sort of like deja vu syndrome or something?
I'm not quite sure, but I every time I see someone and I think I've seen them before, I get a little bit worried and wonder if she's pregnant or has a kid.
Well, you're that worried that you've impregnated possibly that many women in the world?
Yeah, you know, mistakes happen.
Mistakes.
Yeah, some of them are mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's changed. It's now facebook.com/Will and Dave Show.
Yes!
Finally. Now what you mean I've got to do is now I've got to update it on the fucking banner as well.
Yes. Oops. Well, you know what you could just do? You could just put the Twitter and Facebook logos next to each other, it's the same thing.
True. Good point. And then I can
So
just move the available to iTunes logo, place it over the GoDaddy thing. There we are. It'll be golden.
Or we've just opened up prime real estate for advertising.
.com. When's the last time we actually we talked about motor racing? About 20 minutes ago?
Oh, it's been longer than that.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. What's happening my Dave, you've cursed it.
What did I do?
Cursed my stream.
What, did it break?
Yeah. Oh, it's back.
Seriously?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's showing Danica. What a fucking surprise. Can't be 36th. 30 fucking 6th.
Well, Will is watching Fox Sports 1 yet again.
Brought to you by
Do you ever watch Fox Sports 2?
Yeah. Have you seen Fox Sports 2?
Isn't it just like a dumbed down version of Fox Sports 1?
Yeah, it just shows nothing useful at all. I think it's showing UFC 171 weigh-ins right now.
Ooh, weigh-ins for a fight.
Yeah.
How did that ever become a thing?
I know. Why can't they just get in the ring and punch the shit out of each other?
And then they're always like fake fighting each other and be like, "Yeah, come at me, bro." And then somebody like fake breaks them up, like they like want to hurt each other, but they don't. And then you get a guy who blows somebody a kiss to try to piss him off legit, and it still doesn't work. But then they fight anyway. It's just a big mess.
Can I just make a comment here? Could you imagine trying to have S&M sex with Ronda Rousey?
Why in the world would you think of something like that?
Because she'll fucking destroy you. Also, in NASCAR, why do they point the cars facing towards pit wall when they're coming after qualifying run? Why can't they just, back them up so that when they want to drive, they can just drive?
Or they just line them in there straight. I mean, they do have pit boxes.
What? In NASCAR? Pit boxes? Really?
Yeah.
Also, isn't there a bit of an advantage for qualifying at Bristol if you're on the backstretch? Because you've got less to go to get to the start-finish line.
Yeah, but you might not be fully up to speed.
Ah, see, that's a good point.
Wow, Dave Judson made a good point. Write that down.
Yeah, fucking hell. By the way, qualifying right now, you've got a fucking teeny bopper leading the way.
Joey Logano?
Yeah. I want to punch that guy in the face repeatedly with a baseball bat.
And on that note, we should probably wrap this thing up.
Yeah, before the FBI come.
Watch it!
There we are. Episode 20 of the Wil and Dave Show. We've made it 20 fucking episodes. And we are fucking awesome. Well, Vincent, Dave Judson, we've done for another week. And we didn't really talk much about motorsports after the first 20 minutes. But it's okay. Because we talked to you about IndyCar and NASCAR and Formula 1, which is exactly what a motorsports podcast should contain. We just filled it up with random shit in the middle, Dave.
We're with the Wil and Dave Show. We just do whatever we want to do.
We're fucking radical.
Yeah, but not the iRacing radical.
Checkered flag in the air! Oh no, they don't show the checkered flag, do they? It's like fucking black flag with a red cross on it.
No, they wave the black and red flag at the same time.
I was about to say, isn't that a bit racist?
Everything's racist.
Yeah, true. Even Jimmy Johnson's got a black car today, so you can't tell when he's scraped the wall.
Oh,
Dave!
Did you see that?
And on that note...
Did.
Oh, wait, hold on. Breaking news. Danica.
They had the camera in Danica's face, and she turned around and pushed the camera guy out of the way.
Whoa. Danica's getting mean. And on that note, of all the podcasts that I've done, this one was the most recent.
Hey, fucking man. Dave, that was fucking awesome.
What? How I said it?
Harry's up there.
Oh, the podcast. It was great.
Oh, I thought it did pretty good. We're still live, aren't we? What? Like, just shooting the breeze and not having so many people involved in talking?
Yeah, just you and me.
Aw.
And maybe King.
Well, we gotta have King. He's gotta do those sound clips.
Yeah,
oh, Mike Perry.
Next week's gonna be kind of fun, though, isn't it?
What? Because it's gonna be 21?
Well, we can drink.
Oh, the Pet Shower debate. The Pet Shower debates.
Next week is our coming of age podcast.
Are you sure you ended the podcast? Like, how far behind is it?
Next week is our coming of age podcast.
We are still live.
Dave.
What?
We come of age next week.
We what? Oh, yeah, we do. And we've done all these shows in a row.
Yeah. We've not missed a single week. So
Even during the holidays, we didn't.
Yeah. So, Dave, next week, we can drink, record a porno.
No.
Okay.
Awkward.
But we can drink.
All right. You need to end the podcast now so we can do our secret discussion about episode 30.
Okay. Next week,